We go together like a saucer and cup. We go together like a saucer and cup. Oh yeah. You know we go together.
Hey everyone, it's Michigan Songwriters in the Round time. It's been a Wheatland tradition for, I think this is the 16th year that we've done this. And every year it's just full of surprises. Really, I got inspired to do this, to start doing this after going to Lamb's Retreat for the first time. And just realizing that there's an incredible community of songwriters in this great state of ours. And we've got 4 of them here tonight. So without much further ado, I just want to introduce the 4 of them, and then we'll just turn the show over to them, just like we would if we were on the stage, on that great song stage at in the Pines at Wheatland. Up first is Kyle Rasche, rhymes with Kashi, and he's become a good friend and very talented songwriter from the Grand Rapids area. He is known in terms of performance as Chain of Lakes. It's Kyle, but it's also some collaborators at times, and you also may know him from his work with Josh Rose and the Founding Fathers. Another great songwriter and veteran of Michigan Songwriters at Wheatland. He's the father of 3 daughters, very young daughters, 2 twins, a set of twins, and I think that keeps him out of trouble. Or maybe that gets him in more trouble. I'm not sure.
Yes, and yes.
Yes, and yes. And after Kyle, we're going to hear from Samantha Cooper. And Sam came very highly recommended to the committee. And I think we have made a good choice in including her. And she's also a West Michigan girl. She's from Kalamazoo. And she's, besides a performer, she's a session musician. She's a guitar player, a fiddle player. And she does just a whole wide array of workshops. She facilitates. She's involved with a group called Lost Voices, which is a great organization, nonprofit working with youth. And she does a variety of seminars and songwriting, all kinds of things. She is a new song finalist for the Leaf Festival, which is coming up in October, I believe. That's a great honor. And so we're really glad to have you be a part of this tonight, Sam. Thanks for being here. Next would be Kaitlin Rose. And Kaitlin is just a really great joy. I got to meet her. I did one of Andy Baker's songwriting things last year and met her for the first time. And we quickly realized we had a very strong connection through our my son is in a band that her significant other is in, and so it's been really great to make that connection. Kaitlin is in her band is called the Band of Thorns, and obviously she's the rose among the thorns. And she does some great work with the Kalamazoo Academy of Rock, and I just want to know where you were when I was a teenager, a young kid wanting to play rock and roll. Those kids are very lucky to have you. Her most recent recording is called Live Enough. She did last year, and she's always got something cooking. So we're looking forward to hearing Kaitlin Rose tonight. Yep. And then Mike Ward is up next, and he goes by Mike Ward Psycho Songs. He is, he can maybe explain where that came from, but I met Mike through Lamb's Retreat actually a couple years ago, and he is just a very gifted songwriter as well. He's been nominated a couple of times for Detroit Music Awards. His music is out there in Spotify and Bandcamp, and he's just a great songwriter and a good friend, and really glad to have you here tonight. And so, without any further ado, let's go to Kyle.
Thank you so much, Dan. Happy Wheatland, everybody. This is not my first performance at Wheatland. I grew up going to Wheatland with my godparents, and my godmother Cherie has a story of me, eyes closed, singing my heart out, "Hey, hey, we're the monkeys," when I was about 4 years old. And apparently, legend has it actually gathered a crowd. So this is my second performance at Wheatland. It's thrilling to be back, so thank you very much. This first song is a song I wrote for a band called the Union Guns, and their lead singer Jake and I were talking about just his story, and it resonated with me in that he grew up around music, his relationship with touring and being devoted to music, and then kind of settling into the family thing. It really resonated with me. So this song has become very special. It's called Half a Dozen Strings. They say I was born with a guitar in my hands, family rite of passage, sitting in with my old man. As soon as he saw I had it, I was playing in his band. Just a kid, wide-eyed and fancy free. Out of the whole wide world, I found half a dozen strings. Wasn't long before I made the road my home. I found a bottle and a band all of my own. I've seen every kind of highway through a dirty van window. I had everything I ever thought I'd need. Whiskey, food, and water, and half a dozen strings. I wasn't ready when my darling stole my heart. We made a daughter, and I knew there was a star. Sending out the band for shows without my guitar part. The family I was making needed me. Finally found me something more than half a dozen strings. Then the call one fall, bad as one can be. Dear old friend was dying, rebel selves he couldn't be. I remembered all those stages that we raided as a team. The day he died, his bride she handed me an old beat up case of memories and his half a dozen strings. It's clear to see my daughters know somehow. Family rite of passage, they're singing with me now. My little one, she'll kill me if I ever put it down. Yeah, the only thing that helps helps her fall asleep. It's just a prayer with her old man, played on half a dozen strings. I thank God for that, and these half a dozen strings.
Beautiful. Wow, it's fun to just pretend I'm at Wheatland right now. I was just visualizing it when Kyle was playing. It felt good. I have been to Wheatland many times too. It's been quite a source of inspiration for me. I grew up playing violin, but I think Wheatland was one of the first times it really hit me that that I'm a fiddle player, and I have ancestors on both sides that are fiddle players. And something about seeing all the different kinds of fiddling happen at Wheatland just blew me right open. So thanks to Wheatland for that. I'm going to start with, I have a friend named Anne Erlewine. She's a songwriter friend who often describes her music as like adult lullabies. And that's kind of this, I tend to do that too. I tend to comfort myself with my writing. So this is a little mantra called Each Day. Each day when I wake up, I will speak up on what a joy it is to know you. Even if I'm soaking with my salty eyes. And each time that I break bread, I'll acknowledge all of the people, the plants, and the animals who've given of themselves to nourish me. And each night, while the sun sets, I will reflect on all the blessings I was given. And then I'll count them all like sheep till I fall asleep. Ooh, oh, 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 oh. Ooh, oh, oh. Each day when I wake up, I will speak up on what a joy it is just to know you. And each time that I break bread, I'll acknowledge all of the people, the plants, and the animals who've given of themselves for me. And each night, while the sun sets, I will reflect on all my blessings, and I'll count them all until I fall asleep. Oh, oh, ooh, oh, oh. Thanks.
I'm so happy to be here, like I said, and I'm very grateful for you, Dan, for inviting me to be here today and with some friends and new friends. I'm going to start out my set with a song that I wrote Back in 2006, which is the longest song that I still have in rotation, the oldest song that I still have in my repertoire today, because the rest of my teenage albums, we don't really talk about those anymore. But this song I wrote when I moved back from Seattle, Washington, and I feel like it's one of those messages that sustains. So it's called The Drifter. Here it is. Just one more unfamiliar face, and the people walking by bump your shoulders. Not a memory to hold dear. No one knows your story here. You're just another stranger passing by. And it's a sweet, bittersweet journey when you don't know exactly where to go. But somewhere out there, there's a shadow of a place that'll welcome you home. Welcome you home. When no one can really see you and find something about you they don't like. But what about on one of those dreary, cold and quiet nights when you lay and dream of someone by your side? Well, it's a sweet, bittersweet journey when you don't know exactly where to go. But somewhere out there, there's a shadow of a place that'll welcome you home. Yes, somewhere out there, there's a shadow of a place that'll welcome you home. Welcome you home. Thank you.
Wow, that was great. Man, each song, just one better than the next. I'm really honored to be here. I mean, I've been listening to a lot of the works from Kyle, Kaitlin, and Samantha over the last few weeks, and was unfamiliar before, but familiar now. And I thank you, Dan, for putting this together. Thank Wheatland. I've never been to Wheatland, and I actually won tickets at Farm last year, so we were so excited that we were going to go. And my brother's a camper, and he loves music, so, oh well. This song is about my family, and that's about all I'll say. It's all true, including me getting left in Canada when I was little. It's called The Other Side. I was 6 or 7, don't know quite which. We were on the Canadian side of the Blue Water Bridge. My dad took us there to fish and swim and sail. We had a big black boat named after the great white whale. At the end of the day, everyone ran to the 57 Ford, a station wagon big enough for the family ward. 8 kids, 2 adults, the counting noses added up to 10. So my daddy started the car, off they went. They left without me, I was still on the other side. To this day I can't recall if I even cried. Got some sympathy out of it, a Coca-Cola and a bag of chips, but I knew I would see them again on the other side. Now we were Irish Catholic, but that you probably already guessed. Our home was filled with lots of chaos, love, and craziness. The occasional fight over church and sports, over rights and wrongs. It was where the misunderstood and the misfits could belong. Margaret went off to college, later moved to NYC. My brother Jack left to study art and be who he could be. Kathy drove away to find fame in fashion design. Chris and Tom got married and found houses with sold signs. They left without me, I was still on the other side. It's not their fault, they had to live their lives. But staying home wasn't all that bad with my brother Pat living in my parents' pad. But I knew it wouldn't be long before I'd see them on the other side. Well, on the other side, sometimes I'd like some time to myself. And on the other side, I'd feel some guilt about how it was I felt. When I think about it now, it's easy to see the cost to get to the other side. Well, it ain't free. Paul was the first to go at 16 in a car crash. My mom made it to 87 until her body just wouldn't last. My sister got cancer, she only lasted 7 days. And at 95, my dad, well, he just sort of slipped away. I remember days trying to make some sense of all these things. A family of 10 with 1 bathroom, 1 shower, and 1 huge ass sink. And I remember that day when I was left behind. Was that a mistake, or was it a sign? They left without me, well, I'm still on the other side. I miss the beach, like the day misses the night. I don't know if I believe in things I cannot touch or see, but I do hope see them all again on the other side. Yes, I hope we'll be together again on the other side, on the other side, on the other side. Thank you.
This feels
Thank
good.
you.
I get to audibly clap for somebody. This is so fun to be up here with these other songwriters. I have gotten to play as songwriter in the round show with Kaitlin before. We did the Flat River Songwriters round last winter in Lowell, and it was one of my favorite shows of the whole year, and that in large part is because I got to listen to your songs up close, which was outstanding. Sam, I've known you since you were playing with Bathgate. I think that was my first exposure to your fiddling and outstanding harmonies, and it's cool. I saw you play at the Listening Room last year with Nick and got to hear your songs, and that's awesome. And Mike, I met at Farm, which is Farm pretty much changed my whole life in November. I was playing with Rose, and I met Andy Baker, and I got into the Songsmiths songwriting group, which is where I met Dan, and it was just the first time I had met a community of people who just all they cared about was songs, and it's all I care about. Well, it's not all I care about. I love my children and my family, but songs are close behind, and it was really cool to get this community and a way to just make more songs, which was outstanding with this group. And one of our prompts was breaking barriers, and I was reading a book with my daughter about amazing women, and one of them was just stuck out to me as just one of the most resilient, outstanding humans, Marie Curie, or Madame Curie, and just what she, born in Warsaw, just dirt poor, literally studying in secret, moving to Paris, being the first professor at Paris University. She basically taught us how to research radiology, and everything she did, including both of her Nobel Prizes, she was the first woman to do. So it was a cool kind of idea for this Breaking Barriers song. So this is my Marie Curie song. Brave Marie, broke every barrier she ever did see. She etched one heck of a legacy. Mighty, mighty brave Marie. Born in the late 1860s, Warsaw had never saw anything like a girl this smart, this bold, so free. Mighty, mighty brave Marie. Only 10 when her mother succumbed to TB. Wouldn't be her last brush with tragedy. She took after Dad academically. Mighty, mighty smart Marie. Government said college boys only, so she found a secret flying university. Put her sister through school, made her money tutoring. Mighty generous Marie. Brave Marie, brave Marie, broke every barrier she ever did see. Armed only with her wits, she stormed Perry. Mighty, mighty brave Marie. Dead broke, living on toast and tea. Masters of physics by 93. And the next year she followed with a math degree. Mighty badass Marie. 95 met physicist Pierre Curie. Finally found a fun kind of chemistry. Wasn't one short year before the wedding. Man and Marie Curie. Yeah, they made elemental discovery, named polonium after her home country. Isolated radium by 1903, the all-star team Curie. Brave Marie, broke every barrier she ever did see. She taught us radioactivity. Mighty, mighty brave Marie. In 06, Pierre died tragically. Left behind a widow on a pile of grief, and she took on his job, the First Lady, Professor Madame Curie. And no, she didn't even want it when they told her she had Nobel for physics. She was the one and only woman, and it wouldn't even be the last time for brave Marie. 'Cause in 1911, more history. Second Nobel, and she's still the only one to be awarded in physics and again in chemistry. Mighty groundbreaking Marie. Brave Marie, broke every barrier she ever did see. Didn't want a speck of credit, just a whole lot of peace. Mighty, mighty brave Marie. War took over 1914. She kept her head down working radiology and made the world's first field x-ray machine. Mighty heroic indeed. This is a sad part. All her hard work found a cold hard link between radiation and her blood disease. It took her down quick, left the world to grieve the late great brave Marie. You could spend years counting all she achieved. Show the world a woman's got a mind to speak. Gave all our daughters a real chance to dream like the late great brave Marie. Brave Marie, broke every barrier she ever did see. She etched one heck of a legacy. Mighty, mighty brave Marie. Mighty, mighty brave Marie. Mighty, mighty Madame Curie. Thanks.
Woo! Love that. Mighty, mighty brave Marie. That's great. I feel like if something isn't a song, then I remember it better. And she's someone that I want to know more about. So thanks for that, Kyle. I think I'm going to play a musical setting. It's by the third most famous, most highest grossing poet of all time, Khalil Gibran. Those are where the words come from. And this was one of the first songs I finished on guitar. And I wrote it when my former partner, Pat Carroll, was sick, who's a great songwriter that passed from cystic fibrosis. But I had a nylon guitar, which I'm playing now, which was so quiet that I could play it by the side of his bed and it didn't intimidate me because I was so intimidated by its steel strings. They hurt my fingers. So this was like my way in, is to play the nylon guitar. And I played this with my friends Fiona and Elisabeth Pixley-Fink at a wedding, at a friend's wedding. I was so nervous, but it was the beginning of my journey. So this is called Moving Sea.
Love one another, but make not a bond of love. Love one another, but make not a bond of love. Let it rather be a moving sea between the shores of your soul. Oh. but let each one of you be alone. Give your hearts, but not into each other's keeping. Give your hearts, but not into each other's keeping. For only the hand of light can contain your hearts.
Sam, that song is so beautiful. I have had the pleasure of hearing that song live a few times in Kalamazoo, and also at maybe outside of Kalamazoo too, but in very intimate settings. I remember at the Sandbox in Jericho Town with Caltone. I heard that song, and every time it's just like, it's just so stunning. You just did such a fantastic job with that piece. So I always have a really hard time writing set lists, and especially when the songs are, you know, one set or just a few songs like this. What songs am I going to choose, and what do I feel represents me, not just specifically in this time, but with maybe a new audience of people? What is an overarching kind of story that I can tell people to get to know me? And I find that I just keep going back to that, even if I try to get away from it. And I think, you know, I just want to share the songs that I think are my best songs, or maybe I want to share a new song. And I keep going back to this idea of chronology, because lo and behold, whether you can tell it in my songwriting or not, which, you know, I think you can, is I'm very into the concept of vulnerability as it relates to getting to know people. And as a songwriter, writing from personal experience most of the time, I realize that I'm not shying away from the vulnerability that I just seem to want to share with people. So in writing this set list today, I kind of saved it for this moment. How would I really feel? And I put together this next song. I thought about doing The Other Side because Mike shared his song The Other Side, and I have a song of the same title which we related to each other on. Different topics, same title of the song. But I thought I would go with this tune, which is a little bit quieter, and I don't usually play it live because of that. And so I think now would be a great opportunity to share it, and it's called The Great Divide.
Where do you go when you go away? Where do you go when you go away? I live in a big house. I live in a big house, honey. I live in a big house all alone. I live in a big house all alone. I'm dying inside, I am dying inside, I'm dying inside, and no one knows. I'm dying inside, and no one knows. Who will love me now? Who will love me now, honey? Who will love me now that I'm old? Oh, who will love me now that I'm old?
Wow. Beautiful.
Thanks.
Beautiful song. And beautiful playing too, man. So your last line there, who getting old. I know a little bit about that these days. I'm a little old these days. But one of the advantages of that is you get to reflect, kind of listen to where your journey you've been on. And this comes out of that journey. It's a song called Content. And it's actually less about whether you're going to be content here in today's world, or are you going to be content after you leave this world. Caught a cold when I wasn't even chasing it. Saw the light when I wasn't even facing it. Found myself when I wasn't even lost. Built a bridge that I still have never crossed. Tried to escape without really ever leaving. I was telling the truth while make-believing. Harder I look at things, seems the less I see. When searching for a forest, all I found was a tree. It's a simple life in a complex world. I want what's mine and you want what's yours. But when you're all by yourself and the money's all spent, are you gonna leave this world completely content. Used to sit in a cube trying to think out of the box. If I only knew more about bonds and stocks. I'm on the fence between the future and the past. Watching time pass slowly, but I think it's gaining fast. Sometimes I wish that I had smoked more dope, read more books, and maybe used less soap. Gone to sleep later, planted more trees, learned a language to say fromage instead of cheese. It's a simple life in a complex world. I want what's mine and you want what's yours. But when you're all by yourself and the money's all spent, are you gonna leave this world completely content? Whether it's a paradox or a paradigm, a pair of twos or a pair of nines, full house beats three kings every single time, and close only counts in shuffleboard and landmines. Is it possible to hate the very thing you love? Possible to be full yet never get enough? Am I on the bottom while I'm climbing to the top? I'm about to get going, but I think it's time to stop. It's a simple life in a complex world. I want what's mine and you want what's yours. But when you're all by yourself and the money's all spent, are you gonna leave this world completely content? Are you gonna leave this world completely content?
Damn you, my word.
Thank you. Thank you.
That was beautiful, man. All right. So I do want to say I'm broadcasting here from Second Story Sound in Grand Rapids, Michigan, Greg Baxter's studio. I do not have awesome internet where I live out in the middle of nowhere, and he graciously let me use this space and some cool microphones, so thank you to Greg. So this is an I'm sorry song, an apology song, and I don't know what it says that I have a lot of those, but this is another one. But this is kind of that I'm sorry song for maybe you're not so sorry about your position or what you were arguing about, but maybe more about how you went about it, which is another theme in the life of Kyle. So this song is called The Hardest Thing to Say, and I blatantly rob a lyric from Bernie Taupin on this one, so I'm aware of it too. I'm sorry, don't you dare listen, I didn't mean it, can I please be forgiven? The thing about us is how you can change me into the man I wanna be, and then drive me crazy. I wanna be clear, 'cause I wanna be strong. I still don't think you're right, just know I went about this wrong. So now you see, full-grown man raising up a clear white flag, singing sorry loud and singing clear. The hardest thing to say can be the nicest thing to hear. Let's just erase it, close up the curtains. We're not gonna change any minds, dead set on hurting. And the thing about us is how we can break free and see that the blood rush in our head is the same that our hearts beat. My lip, 'cause I'm not drawn first blood. You know I haven't seen my pride since I realized just what we'd done. And the difference between love and rage is just how fast you turn the page. And anger's just some coward's word for fear. The hardest thing to say can be the nicest thing to hear. And sorry seems to be the hardest word. Oh, sorry seems to be the hardest word. Oh, sorry seems to be the hardest word. Sorry seems to be the hardest word. The distance between war and peace is just a measly few degrees. Another view, something you hold dear. The hardest thing to say be the nicest thing to hear. The hardest thing to say can be the nicest thing to hear.
Man, I love that. I think I'll do a rewrite. Rewrite was like a gateway drug for me, rewriting songs. I have a dual project called Hearth Hymn, and we do a lot of old Sacred Harp or old spiritual songs, but sometimes we'll change the words if they don't resonate with us or the pronouns or what have you. And it's just so, such ripe territory to take like a melody that's infectious and just make it your own. So this melody was first written by Charlie Chaplin, of all people, in a silent film. And there was a few writers whose names escape me, but my sister Katie, when I played this for her, she started laughing because she had rewritten the song as well, and she would sing it to her kids at night. So she was like, "No way!" So it's called "Smile," the original, and I call this one "Sigh." You might recognize the original, and it's kind of just about smiling no matter what. And at a certain point, you know, this song is in all of our collective unconscious. I was just like, wait a minute. I don't know if I'm into that. So here it is. Sigh when your heart is aching. Cry when it says it's breaking. When there are clouds in your sky, give them time. If you smile through your fear and sorrow, you might be a wreck tomorrow. Well, you may appear to be
sadness. No, it might take some practice. Just when a tear may be ever so near, that's the time you can't quit your trying, 'cause there is a use to crying. You'll find the anguish will subside if you just let a body cry. Thank you.
Oh my goodness. Whew. So right on track with the theme for me, continuing on this vulnerability trajectory. This next song I'm going to play for all of you is a song that took 8 years to get the courage to even begin to start writing. And it has it's just scared me to perform the song for a long time until people started to come up after shows or email me and let me know how much they resonated with this song and how much it meant to them that someone was talking about this this side of parenting or becoming a parent. And so I sing it with courage because it's not a very easy thing to talk about, but I will say that in relation to Wheatland, I will confess I have never been to Wheatland either. But in my mind, it was always this holy grail that I would someday get to achieve, even just the going, not even the playing, I mean, maybe someday I would be able to participate. And so this song, it really represents the part of me that wanted to try for that, as well as the part of me that felt guilty for trying that once I became a mother. And it's called Bad Mother. Most of the time I don't know what you're saying. Sounds come out your mouth and I try to decode them. And I must console you when you throw yourself to the floor, 'cause you just can't stand being misunderstood anymore. I hardly remember the feelings I had before I knew better, but I recall the confusion I felt at my mother's sadness, and I wonder what it was that she would have told me if she could tell me what she couldn't tell me. Am I a bad mother to say that I want out of it? A bad mother to say I'd rather be in Nashville, New York, Hollywood, or Austin? I'd rather be on my way. Am I a bad mother to be the one to leave? A bad woman for wanting to be free? There's no such thing as an old soul. That's just a nice way to say
some kid gave you real good advice that one time. It doesn't do anyone any good to think they're wiser than their years. We're all just as naive as the next child. Was I supposed to want this? Why didn't someone adequately warn me that in finding myself I would lose half of them before the end of my life? Will I ever understand? Am I a bad mother to say that I want out of it? A bad woman to say I'd rather be in Nashville, New York, Hollywood, or Austin? I'd rather be on my way. Am I a bad mother to be the one to leave? A bad woman for wanting to be free? To say that I want out of it, a bad woman to say I'd rather be in Nashville, New York, Hollywood, or Austin? I'd rather be on my way. Am I a bad mother to be the one to leave? A bad woman for wanting to be free?
Yeah, I am so glad you played that song.
Oh, thank you.
I've been listening to it, and it's an incredible song, just incredible. As I love the interpretation, Samantha, that you did of that familiar song. I did not know that Charlie Chaplin was the writer, and so I'm gonna do a song that I hadn't planned to do actually, but lullabies and family seem to be of the night. So this is a song, it's written for my kids. My kids are, as I said, 34 and 38, soon to be 39. And but when I wrote this, I wrote it recently, and I imagined them as tiny babies because I didn't actually write songs for them when they were really tiny. So it's called How Sweet Your Dreams. How sweet your dreams, dear. How sweet your dreams. Even though everything is coming apart at the seams. How sweet your dreams. How sound your sleep. I pray the Lord your soul to keep. How sweet your breaths, dear. Slow, soft, and warm. Calm and unaware of the oncoming storm. How sweet your kisses. How bright your smile. I will watch over you now and all the while. Lying next to me as darkness nears and the weight of the world disappears. Don't know what I did before, You came along, I just know you're the right to this world's every wrong. How sweet your tears, dear, rolling down your cheek. Tell me why you cry, what makes you weep. How strong you hold, dear, you hold on my heart. I'll chase the nightmares hiding in the dark. Nears and the weight of the world disappears. Don't know what I did before you came along. I just know you're the right to this world every wrong. How sweet your dreams, dear. How sweet your dreams, even though everything is coming apart at the seams. How sweet your dreams, how sound your sleep. I pray the Lord your soul to keep. I pray the Lord your soul to keep.
So good.
Thank you. Thanks.
Well, I don't know if I'm going to get a mic again, so I wanted to thank Dan Bracken for having me. This is a dream come true for me to even be associated in any way. I think Kaitlin nailed it. Never thought I would play Wheatland, but just being there is such an amazing thing, and I can't wait to get back to that property, and I'm so grateful that you've included me, and to be included amongst these songwriters is the highlight of my career. So Sam, Kaitlin, Mike, thank you guys so much. Someday we'll do this in person, I hope. This next song I'm gonna play is it's a nostalgic little tune I wrote. I was going through the garage and I found my old baseball mitt from when I was a kid, and it was impeccably broken in still, and it kind of got me thinking about that time-honored tradition of breaking in a glove, and often that is imparted onto us by someone that we love. So this is kind of my version of that story. It's called Catch. Grandpa came to visit. I don't think I was even 6 yet. He said, "Why aren't you outside with that brand new mitt I sent you?" And I said, "Grandpa, I'm so grateful that you send anything at all, but that glove hardly holds a ball." And he laughed his ass off. He said, "How could I forget? Can't just send a kid a mitt without a good old heart-to-heart about just how to break it in. Can't rush a glove to greatness. That's why I'm starting you right now. Go get it, I'll show pound on the pocket with your fist. Tap a mallet on the webbing, rubbing a little lanolin. Tie it up tight under your mattress. Yeah, you'll feel it breaking in once you're out. For crying out loud, playing catch with it. Those summers that he came felt like more than just a game. We'd spend all those hours outside, shagging flies and reacquainting. And I'd say, Grandpa, I'm so grateful we found all this time to talk. But come on, man, could you throw the ball? And he'd laugh his ass off. I grew out of that glove, but I kept it safe and sound. Now my own kid's growing up, so I found it and pulled it out. And turns out she's a lefty. I hear Grandpa laughing now as we break in her brand new mitt. Same way my grandpa did. You pound on the pocket with your fist. Tap a mallet on the webbing and rub in a little lanolin and tie it up tight under your mattress. But it's no use breaking in till you're out. For crying out loud, playing catch with it. Come on now, for crying out loud, let's play some catch, kid. Thanks.
Yeah, I had a left-handed mitt growing up.
Did you?
I got to play at Wheatland a few years ago. I played on the dance stage with Bowhunter, my string band, and it was a highlight of my fiddle career. They always say you could make tens of dollars in old time music, so that was a huge deal. And Wheatland definitely was a catalyst in me studying fiddle styles out west, which is what I did before I came back to Kalamazoo and met up with the other old-time players that I had known before, and I was like, we need to have a social dance here. What's going on? You guys are playing fiddle in the corner of bars. Like, let's get a dance going. And that's when Square Dance Kalamazoo was born, probably maybe in 2011. It's been a while. So I love playing dance fiddle tunes, but tonight I'm going to play a more somber one for Elijah McClain, who was killed by completely unnecessary, brutal force by police last August. And Elijah was a beautiful violin player and a massage therapist, and people all around the country are playing tributes to him on the violin. This one's called Let Evening Come. It's named after a poem I love.
Wow. We've been watching the planes, waiting for signs, kerchief over our mouths, hands above our eyes. The sound of the wind and the sound of the rain almost sound the same. This was years before the train. Mama feels penned in underground. She hangs lace curtains where the windows would be, and always threatens this'll be the last storm we pray through, should we make it out. If the rains won't come or if they'll carry us away. A bolt of lightning and home's too far to run. The waters moving too fast. Grab my hand and climb. It'll be all right, little sister. Try not to cry. We'll take turns thinking of verses to recite. We just have to make it through the night. sun rose and the current had slowed enough for us to climb down. And we walked hand in hand home, afraid of what we'd find. What if there was nothing left behind? I saw him first, then he saw us, three little children walking through the mud. And we heard Mama scream and the crack of the porch screen, and we all cried the way you do when you must. There you have that one.
Beautiful.
Thank you
Just
very much.
Incredible.
Thank you.
Everybody, and I agree that that song, man. I'll talk to you about it someday. I'll tell you some stories about it's not my dad, it's my father-in-law and my son. Anyway, I'm going to do one last song, and I want to thank Dan again, thank Wheatland, thank Samantha, Kaitlin, Kyle. This is an incredible honor, and it would be so great to be at Wheatland playing this live, but this is second best, and we know why. And during the lockdown in the month of April, I was part of a challenge to write 30 songs in 30 days, record it, and put it up online to prove that you wrote it. And I got it done, but it was pretty tough. But this is one of the songs that came out of it. It's called "It's Quiet Here Today." Fraying fabric in the wind, inhale, exhale, then again, chirping from the wires and trees, breaking out in purples and greens, creaks of aging wooden floors, carpeted footsteps on corridors, silence breaks, a siren calls, echo on these old deaf walls. It sure is quiet here today. It's quiet here today. No work and no play. Sure is quiet here today. Sure is quiet here today. The muffled pounding of progress, gloved and masked as we pass, stare into deserted stores, lapping waves on lonely shores. A ghost town is now revealed, isolated while we heal. Steam rises from every rooftop, a lone sun arrives with no time clock. Sure is quiet here today. Sure is quiet here today. At home we're gonna stay. It's quiet here today. Sure is quiet here today. It's quiet here today. No work and no play. It's quiet here today. Sure is quiet here today. It's quiet here today. We bow our heads and pray. It's quiet here today. Sure is quiet here today.
Mike Ward.
Thanks,
Thanks,
Dan.
everybody. Hey, everybody can unmute for a minute. That'd be great. We can say goodbye.
All right.
Oh, man.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mike Ward, Samantha Cooper, Caitlin Rose, and Kyle Rasche, thanks to all of you. Happy Wheatland, and hope to see you all face to face in the coming year. Thanks for being here today.
Happy Wheatland, everybody.
Happy Wheatland.
Good night.
Happy Wheatland.
Thank you.
Thank you all.